Potter's Journal, very special kiln opening today. Okay, I've got some maple syrup jugs in it. I'm also making maple syrup. Okay, this is the final part of the boil, 43 gallons. Okay, hopefully we'll get a gallon out of it. If I don't turn it into burnt, ruined everything. Here's a syrup jug I found. This is 1976 commemorative. There's a log cabin on there. But here's the thing. On the bottom it says log cabin, but it says syrup. It doesn't say maple syrup. We're making the real thing here. We're making the jugs to put it in. Okay, let's see what's in the kiln today. 5 videos, what a process. I can't believe anybody's still watching, both making the pottery and the syrup. We'll find out in the end here if the syrup makes it, but okay, no holding back on the pots. Look at this. There it is. Log cabin jug. Okay, and this is some of my signature slipware. Okay, there it is. Kohut. And the slipware has got the fingerprints. The glaze has the fingerprints. These are on my hazelnut clay body. I'll hopefully show you what we do with the lugs yet. Okay, watch out, log cabin people. Because, yeah, it's hidden on the bottom. I guess there was a label on this at one time. I'm not just making syrup, we're making maple syrup. Okay, from the tapping of the tree in the first video when I was Maple Man. Okay, in the woods. And you know, when you scratch into the clay, it looks so rough and unnatural. But the glaze smooths it out and softens it up. These were the spouts that I just put a little round ball of clay on there and rounded them off and poked a hole through with a hole cutter. Okay. So there's the sugar bush, as it's called, where they grow the maple trees. And there were 6 of these, so there's 3 on the top and 3 on the bottom. Very traditional Pennsylvania slipware-like pattern that you might find on, okay, old redware plates or bowls or bakers or ceramic syrup jugs. Okay, and to use at the table little syrup pitchers, heart syrup pitchers. Now these are small. This stuff is very precious liquid. It takes 40 gallons. I've put through those pots on the stove to boil down to hopefully we will get about a gallon in the end. And this is my, okay, well, this is Standard Ceramics oatmeal glaze on the bottom and their sea mist on the top. Now I had dipped these in a black slip, hoping to just use one clay over or glaze over it, but it didn't leave enough of contrast, so I did use 2 glazes in the end. So these can be syrup pitchers, they could be cream pitchers, they can be, we're looking for another market, they can be vodka pitchers. Okay, and here are the egg separators. I don't know if when making pancakes, if there's any type, do you ever sort out the the white from the yolk when you're making crepes or something? I don't know. So we'll have to look into that. And okay, Pennsylvania is one of the states with the right terroir for making maple syrup. Vermont is probably the most famous, Quebec, but throughout New England, Pennsylvania, maybe into Ohio, and it fingers out from there a bit, around the Great Lakes a bit. You know, this is a glaze we'll talk about in another kiln opening. And okay, we may ruin this syrup yet, just as we did with this jug. Okay, and this is just burnt, ruined everything. I already looked in here, so I didn't want to show you this first thing. But I've got an example here, the Pennsylvania cobalt stuff. I've been using a white glaze of my own, but it is just too bland. So I tried this tan, which Crocs and Jugs can have the color. But I put the cobalt mixed with a bit of manganese and some iron right on the bisqueware. It's what I did here. It didn't run, but with this glaze, it is running. And it's also a little bit to do with the firing. Now look at that. This one I'm really sad about, because I was copying some historic, not copying, but doing how do I say it, the interpretation, transposing a traditional syrup jug. So both the shape and the two lines, the Albany slip glaze of my own on the top, and Standard's oatmeal on the bottom. Now, it would have been perfect, the colors, I felt, just like that, if I wouldn't have done the slip, the brushwork. So I kind of had a gut feel this was going to be wrong. So I did put 3 of the jugs aside until I felt a little more secure with that. Okay, now we still have 1 more gallon to pour in before we start the final burn on the syrup. And this is it, the very last gallon of sap that we will boil down to hopefully make syrup. As soon as that's boiling, we will add it to the second pot. So this is what's left of 40 gallons. Okay, that was 1 gallon. It should boil down to exactly this much in this pan. 40 gallons should boil down to that much if we get this right. It'll all be in a single pan shortly. Garlic grater plates. Mine are lightly glazed over the grater part. But that's another story. We are on OK maple syrup today. The tapping the trees, I think, you know, nursery, Christmas tree farm, person who lives in the woods. That was a natural for me. Oh, here's a little syrup cup, single serves. But the final part is what scares me. Okay, here's a yarn bowl. And this is a new glaze I've tried with the sea mist over. It really runs. That's I've been looking for another glaze that I can layer. I don't have enough where I can do the layer thing. And this is giving me that. It's a blended glaze that we'll look at some more in some upcoming videos with the sea mist over top of it. And then a white slip underneath. So that's a story for some upcoming videos. This is the same thing. A blended glaze I've tried with the sea mist over top. You know what? This really ran. It also might have something to do with the firing too. This is another, okay, pancake syrup. Okay, for making, not pancake syrup, what do you call it? Pancake batter bowl. You know, that was another popular video I did because we did the pour test with the pancake batter, and I showed exactly how I made them to give a clean pour and how they stacked up to the Pyrex. Finishing this quickly because I will have to stay near the stove. Oh, here we've got the dove from Picasso's Guernica, the video I did recently, nearly destroyed by the knife or the bomber plane, depending how it's seen. I was surprised how many variations there are on that painting, that the symbolism, the figures, the composition, so strong, so well known, the message not specific to Guernica, that even when people have used and done variations with Mickey Mouse, it's still readable, as he said. Man, did I say this is the most scary part? Like putting your kiln through the reduction process at just the right time and long enough. If I understand it right, okay, I need to have this boiling at about 7 degrees above boiling, and I'm not getting much higher than that, or it's completely ruined, turns into sugar or burnt, worse than that. And then I've got 3 thermometers in it. I'm at the 1,200-foot elevation, which changes it a little bit. From everything that I've read, you have to have the hydrometer to measure it. Not the ceramic one, once again, is not good enough. You have to have a special one, the graduated cylinder, stainless steel to put it in. These things cost so much money, I might as well go out and buy the syrup. I finally come to the conclusion that apparently only old-timers can do it, that once upon a time they did this over a cast iron kettle. And they did it to survive, not just as a novelty, not just to have fun. So we are going to try the pour it over the spoon test, but I think the important thing is just to take the last part slow and low as it boils down. We just keep putting the temperature down. This is the most scary part. Did I say that? Okay, we can't, the boiling, we need to keep it boiling, but I have to keep turning it down because it can't go too high either. Oh, this is what I wanted. Oh, I don't believe it. This is a traditional shape for a syrup jug. This has got a spout built in. A cork can go in there so it can be corked and taken out and poured. This is what I shouldn't have put the slip on the top. That the oatmeal is just fine for a gray jug. My Albany slip glaze, the very traditional for the top part and the inside. Since they no longer mine Albany slip, I hate putting it inside where you can't see it, but that's the way it would have been done. And this is part of my one of 101 jugs that I've been selecting over the past few years, a certain number of them, and marking with that stamp. Here it is again with the slip underneath, the blue, the cobalt, and you can't even tell what the design is, but and another one of those ones with the cork and spout built in. So unfortunately that one, I don't know what we'll do, does have my special stamp on it. Okay, oh, is that ugly? I was doing the same thing again, the traditional colors for the jug or Pennsylvania stuff, and thought, well, maybe I'll make it more sellable by putting the blue inside. Okay, let's put that one aside real fast. Like I said, it's not working with the slip underneath, but the combination of the yeah, I use the Albany slip glaze somewhat sparingly. So, and some of the old pieces do have, okay, it does run in some of the old pieces. So hopefully we will get this done without burning this syrup, and we will be making pancakes. Okay, and using and putting the batter bowls again to the test. Okay, and this is the bottom. Okay, here we go. I guess if I manage to make the syrup without burning it, I will have to get myself, I do have that red plaid shirt coat somewhere, and I'll have to do the beard, and I'll have to get the cap. So I will be Maple Syrup Man. Okay, and okay, our log cabin again. Oh, great. A glaze that never has any trouble. There's a little rough spot right there on the front. And this one has a little indentation on the side where it was dropped. That okay, is also a spot where you can pick and pour. But this one, I do have, I do want to put some handles. Where did they go? I did make some clay handles that put some wire up there. Maybe we'll show that in the end here too. And okay, this is relatively plain, nothing back here. And okay, this is it. This is it. When I go into business making and selling maple syrup, and this obviously is a joke, it will be Rooster Hill Farm. And we won't go with a log cabin, or our logo will be, okay, a Ralph dog. Okay, so Rooster Hill Farm, pure maple. Log cabin people with your generic syrup. We don't even know where the flavor comes from. Watch out. And did I say this is the scariest part? I have got 3 different thermometers here going, actually giving me 3 different greetings so that I don't burn it and it doesn't turn into sugar or even worse. Oh, and you know, the online information, even what I read, has not been, well, I guess they say you have to have more equipment than just this. So much to get in the final parts of both of these processes right. I knew that the witness cones, which I never witnessed, were melted more than normal, and I see that the shutoff cone took a bigger V in it today before it shut off. So I was wondering what happened there, and there's the answer. Whoa, that is it! When it comes off in a sheet! I can't believe it! This is it! Okay, it is the next day. Look at this. I did it. Look how deep and dark the color, from what the book says, and from what I can taste, it is the okay, most depth of flavor, most robust, hints of caramel, molasses. This is not like what you get in the store. This is the real thing. I got nearly a gallon, not quite. There are 3 here that I gave away, 3 portions, which was about 1.5 of these. But the gifts are going to be few. The work that you saw was involved. The dark is what's preferred by chefs, so I will use it in cooking. It can be substituted for honey. I make my own granola-like cereal, so I will put it in there. I believe I will do this again. It was really amazing to figure out and find out that just a normal person could do this, but now I will be Maple Man next year. I've got the plaid, I've got the camouflage cap. Okay, stop back next year, see if I grow the beard. Here's the wire handle. I had a few of these around that fit on the big jugs, and that's what these were made for. So that is that. I'm sorry that I made some little ceramic handles, and I want to get an old coat hanger and do the same thing on the little jugs, so I'm sorry I don't have that to show you. I can't believe you followed me through this project. Thank you for that. Okay, stop back and see what happens in the studio and in the kitchen and on the farm next week. And look for my syrup and jugs at your farmer's market. It'll be labeled Rooster Hill Farm Pure Maple with the little Ralph dog on the label.